Turtle Power Part 2. There's explosions on the outside of the base, and some masked humans say it's lights out. One of them tells his friends to not fail him, which is the kind of thing a villain would say. They run into the base, which has alarms going off, and I'm still annoyed by Krang saying work for no reason, like a chocobo. How is that approved? You can't really take that seriously. Krang tells Rouge's sister Christina to get back because she's supposed to be obeying him, not attacking him. The only sort of explanation for this is that she has a unique biochemistry he's never seen before because she's a Mobian, as he said earlier. But that just doesn't make this make sense. Mobians seem to think no differently than any other species of people do, so her brain would still be just as brainwashable. At least if she did work for him, she'd be doing stuff in this crossover. Jet and Wave are free. I guess just because the electricity went out in the base, and maybe they're chained for electricity, which would be stupid for this very reason. But that wouldn't explain why the base still has the power to have an alarm go off. Their escape seems too easy, because it's not like we're seeing the people who broke into the base free them directly. Christina carries one of the scared pirates that used to work for Krang as he tells her to let go because they've got to get out of here. Why'd she lose control of herself, but not be under Krang's control? That's convoluted. The ninjas begin a mutagen extraction and want someone named Karai to keep them occupied for a minute. Jet and Wave get their airboards back, as I think about how obviously it'd be more appealing for most people if the actual Ninja Turtles were the ones saving Jet and Wave instead of these random human ninjas I don't care about. The ninja Karai says that their days of groveling to Krang are over and they don't need him anymore. Then what's taking this ninja so long to kill Krang? He's just standing there talking instead of using his weapon. That's so stupid of him. Krang can invent stuff. I guess he invented enough stuff for the clan, so that's why they think they don't need him anymore. That only makes sense if they had a scientist to invent stuff instead of him. Krang reveals that they're called the Foot Clan. I can't really take that name seriously. It's like they looked at a part of their body and lazily named the clan after it. I guess because they kick a lot. Maybe the reason it's so weird to me is that it's in English. You'd think it'd be in Japanese if it's a ninja clan. A bad guy hits a human, who Jet magically already knows is a lady, as he kicks the bad guy to save her. I guess just to spite him while putting himself in danger. He's got nothing else to do on this planet, you know, aside from establish another pirate crew where it's safe. They get one revenge on Krang, but still. Well, it would make sense for him to want to beat Krang up, because if he beat him and all of his goons up, then he'd have access to the dimensional portal and be able to get home immediately. Krang somehow recognizes this character I don't care about, and his fake body gets damaged. It is creative that his fake body is organic, or at least organic looking, instead of a metal mecha, but a metal mecha would obviously look better than this. I was suspecting that Karai was a girl's name actually. She says they have the mutagen and has to be brought back. The text bubble having a squiggly line must mean that's the person she's talking to responding to her. He says that there's so many people at this location that if he activates the transmat now, he'll beam back anyone close to her. But she says to do it because he'll be overrun with security at any second. I'm so bored. I'm really just describing what's going on. There's not enough Sonic characters to care about here, and I don't really care about the Babylon rogues in this continuity. So they all get beamed away from Krang after Ninja merely told him off instead of easily just killing him. The teleportation beam's completed, and Christina startles Baxter the Genius and flies out of the building, and he asks what sort of horrors are in Dimension X. You mean he isn't native to that place? Now I'm even more confused. Surprisingly, the Foot Clan immediately wants to kill the rogues for being different from them, and assumes they're Krang's abominations. And Jet lampshades her lack of gratitude. This kind of thing doesn't endear the story to you at all. It's a twist, but not a fun twist. They just randomly grabbed the villain ball. I mean, the rogues were clearly fighting Krang's goons. Surprisingly, Karai has the time to explain that the rogues aren't with Krang, and her father immediately admits that he was hasty. still don't forgive that nonsense. He introduces himself as Oriku, and says that if the rogues help him destroy Krang, he'll make them really rich. If he wanted to destroy Krang, why the hell didn't he just order Karai to kill him, instead of just standing there and saying he's useless now? Why isn't he really mad at her? I guess he doesn't know that she was doing that. And then our time is wasted with a villain scene with Krang. Wait, why are Rock and Babe still with them? So the teleportation beam didn't get them, but it got everyone else, including Christina? So because they were arbitrarily left here, because I guess the beam wasn't so big after all, somehow they get to help Krang with information. Because the base is running on emergency power, Babe saves his own skin by telling Krang that he could steal the emeralds from the floating island to power it up, using his past experience with Mobius to help him. That's the predictable excuse for Krang to start bothering Mobius. What other excuse would there be, I guess? I don't know why Krang won't get back at them after they give them that information though, if he knows they're incompetent and wanted to mutate them. He didn't lose all of his mutagen. Did it really have to be written that Beeps told him about the emeralds? Krang was studying Mobius for quite some time. You'd think he'd have learned about the emeralds himself. It's hard to find out about the floating island, but the problem is the floating island isn't a secret anymore on Mobius at this point. You'd think he'd researched the internet on Mobius and come across it, because he could find out about Sonic, and he could find out about Knuckles. So this story is about Christina and the rest breaking free of Krang's base, because the Foot Clan saved them. But kind of only by accident. Somehow the rogues got free of their chains, and the teleportation beam was so big that it got the rogues out of there with Karai, who stupidly didn't kill Krang when she had the chance, which could have easily avoided the entire crossover. How's Christina not under his control?